Pirates, waffles, pancakes, random. It's Neon Nightcast podcast.
The fuck
Oh
is that?
no.
Uh, we gotta pander to those younger audience.
Sure.
Just talk about random stuff. What else is cool with kids? Like Vine? That's not.
420, blaze it, YOLO,
Yo!
bro.
Guys, what's today's topic? What's better, waffles or pancakes? Ninjas or
I like
pirates?
I like waffles, and I think fuck, Pirates versus Ninja, man. I don't know.
Gotta go with ninjas.
Pirates can shoot
Okay, we're
people.
actually getting into this. Okay, well, this is the Neon Nightcast podcast. I'm your host, Michael Thrax. I'm joined today with, like always, my good friend Garrett Zagri and my brother Eric, Dr. Soybean.
Thanks, my huckleberry friend.
I don't know what that one's from, but okay. Uh, First off, this is an exciting episode. We've been doing this for a month now, and we have a new YouTube banner and a new thumbnail. Thanks to someone I found through YouTube and Twitter, Dracula Fetus. He did a great job. Very quick, very responsive. Like he had it done in a day. We're amazed. They look amazing. You can find
Exactly
them.
what we wanted.
Yeah, exactly what we wanted. You can find him on Twitter at Dracula Fetus. We'll put the link to his Twitter in the comments or the description or whatever of this video. Check him out. He's great.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, so let's get into this. Tonight's episode is we're going to talk about a game that me and Garrett play constantly, League of
Just about every
Legends.
single day.
Yep. I think this is our first episode about a video game.
Well, we kind of did MMOs in
MMOs,
general
right?
last time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that special.
First topic about a specific video
Yeah,
game.
sure. Let's go with
Yeah.
that. Anyways, League, Garrett, what's League?
Do you love to get flamed by your teammates? Do you love getting triggered in a fucking instant? Do you love not being able to rely on anyone when you're playing a video game? If so, then League of Legends is the game for you.
Yeah, it constantly pushes our friendship to the limits, and that's how you know we're gonna be friends for a while. Cause, oh my god, wait,
Yeah,
that
unfortunately, still together. We're still friends.
yeah. Hey, we did good tonight though. That Graves is pretty triggering, but what can you do, man?
Yeah.
He tells us to group and then he doesn't group. That was great. Awesome. Anyways, Eric, what do you think League is? Tell me what
Well,
a League is.
okay. I mean, I want to preface this to the audience that I've never played the game. I'm barely familiar with it, so essentially my impression of it is just based on things that I've heard you guys talking about or heard other people talking about. So my understanding of how the game works, and I'm aware this is probably completely wrong, is unlike games like WoW, where there's a story. This is really only about combat. Essentially, you're doing combat in groups or solo. And when I initially heard about it, I assumed that you could like make a character and you'd have like a set of like skill points to distribute between various stats. But then somebody was telling me that like, oh no, you just pick from existing characters, and I was like, well, why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you just make your own? So
Well,
that's really all I know about it.
there's 136 different champions in League of Legends.
As of
So
this
that,
recording.
yeah, as of
That
this recording, last one being Zayan or Khan, a double
that
release,
is a
which is
lot.
very rare.
That is a lot, but I thought the whole thing with like, games of this style, like WoW, for example, you make your own guy, right?
Well, WoW's an
Well, see,
MMO.
yeah, so that was an MMO. This one's called a
League
bat.
League
Go ahead,
is
Mike.
a MOBA, and
Yeah.
MOBAs started from a use map settings game of Warcraft 3, I want to say. It could be Warcraft 2, but I think it's 3. Anyways,
Pretty sure it's 3.
and this guy made a use map set in games that was the first MOBA, and that's what
And
League is.
MOBA stands for Massive Online Battle Arena.
Okay,
So like,
so I
oh, go
shouldn't
ahead.
be thinking of this as comparable to WoW. It's more comparable to like a fighting game, if
Um,
anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like think of it like a shooter, but
The,
not.
yeah. Like okay, the
It's
newest, first of all, for the audience, the newest game Eric has played was probably made in like 2001. Like
Okay, that's not
religiously,
true.
religiously,
I just spent last weekend playing New Super Mario Bros. With friends,
which is
so
like a
that's not
six,
entirely true.
7 year old game. So,
Okay, but that's 2010, not 2001.
all right,
Like,
Eric, it was
I
an
think the
over an
point stands.
exaggeration.
It's all
Yes.
right. It's all right. Yeah, I think the point stands.
but yes, I mean,
So,
It's not getting to a whole
full
lot of details.
disclosure, I'm a classic gamer,
yes.
so there you
So
go.
basically, Eric, there's two sides of the map, and you basically want to destroy the opposite side's nexus, and it's just a building. And there's three lanes that. God, this is just explaining League, but
Okay, so think like a square, and then there's lanes on the outsides of the square, and then there's so two lanes, outsides, basically the sides of the square,
and
and
going
then one lane cutting
diagonal.
straight through the middle,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
diagonal from corner to corner. And it's 5v5, 5 players on each team. You pick your champions. Um, Sometimes people will troll and pick champions that aren't supposed to go to where they're assigned. There's
Yeah.
five
So
different assignments,
I
I
play
guess.
I play top lane, and basically I only play tanks, which are just damage absorbers.
Okay, when you say assignments, it's like
So
positions on a sports team, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, so like top lane is top lane. They're pretty self-explanatory. It's top lane, mid lane, jungle. Junglers are basically everywhere the lanes aren't. So like where the lanes aren't, it's like a foresty area and there's monsters inside there. And that's where junglers go.
They
And then there's a bot lane, and then a support always goes with the bot lane.
yeah.
Hmm.
So basically what it is minions get pushed down the lanes spawning from these
Minions,
things.
ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, anyways, go
God,
on.
you just triggered me. I don't like minions. Ah, so
Yeah,
minions
Dr.
get
Drew's
pushed
just
down the
like
lane, and you just have to kill minions, and you try to kill the person you're laning against, and you basically each minion kill gives you money. You buy items that make you stronger, and you're trying to kill the towers, the inhibitors, and then the nexus.
Hmm.
Towers
Okay.
shoot. It's hard to explain. You'd have to
yeah.
see it.
Well, I mean, just from you describing this, I can get the gist of what you're saying. It
Like
doesn't
you've
sound
played, you watched, you saw me play like StarCraft, so it's that like bird's eye view
right.
kind of, yeah, bird's eye
What do
view.
they call that? Third person view or
I think it's
no?
RTS.
I think it's bird's eye. I
It's
think is what
bird
they actually
eye,
call
and
it.
it's, I guess you would say it's an RTS.
But no, well yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Sounds like it's almost a thing of its own.
yeah,
Well, the MOBA category is its own thing. Like Dota, if you've ever seen Dota, Dota's a MOBA. Heroes of the Storm is a MOBA.
yeah. But now there's even like first person and third person MOBAs.
Oh yeah, like Smite for instance. Smite's a great game. Also, Smite's a MOBA.
Yeah,
And they're getting MOBAs are probably the most popular esport, the most popular because people play all these like games competitively, like as a job.
yeah,
Mhm.
And League of Legends is probably the most popular one.
yeah.
CS:GO, I give it a run, but CS:GO only has a tournament, like once every 6 months or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I don't
feel
follow
like the
CS:GO, so
LCS for League is always going on.
yeah, there's like a 3 month hiatus from like November to like February, March.
Yeah,
So yeah, LCS means League of Legends Championship Series, and basically that's like the organized group, like the MLB, NFL, NHL, soccer league
Major
of
Major League Gaming.
yeah, like it's the Major League Gaming brand of League of
Oh,
Legends.
we need air horns right now so
We need
badly.
air
Yeah,
horns.
you need to get a vuvuzela or something.
Yeah, League is I don't know. I have such a love-hate with that game, man. Like today,
You get so fucking angry, man. You just need to chill and
well,
just if
like
the game goes
today,
shit, it goes shit.
today I did okay. A couple of times, I think it was my internet, like my alt didn't go off a couple of times, so I lost lane both games. But we ended up winning both games, so it's like okay. I didn't get as mad as I usually did today. Today was fine, but sometimes you lane against someone and they'll like spam laugh or like their mastery symbol at you, and it's just like called it's BM called bad
Yeah,
manners, and it's just
yeah,
so
BMing.
aggravating. And like I like League, I like playing it, but like in the heat of the moment, if you can just get so mad, I don't know why. The game itself just like I don't.
I think it's just because like it's a PvP, it's player versus player, and you always think you're going to be able to outdo the other player.
Yeah,
So whenever you don't, or they get off with like a cheesy move that gets you killed and gets them ahead, you just like fuck me.
yeah,
Now this whole game is ruined. Like,
yeah. Like
what do I do for the rest of the game so that I don't feed, so that I don't fucking like lose for my team?
yeah, like if they tower dive you and then they end up don't dying and you get killed and you're just like, okay, well now I'm fucking triggered because that shouldn't have worked. Why am I such a shitherd?
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, I think it's just the aspect of being competitive. If you're not competitive, then I don't think you'll get that way. But
Yeah.
when
See,
you
as I
are,
get older, I still like League, but when I used to play WoW and Terra, it was all about the PvP. And now, man, like we're playing Final Fantasy 14, like we said last episode, and I just like PvE now. I wouldn't. I don't think I could get into another game that was strictly PvP. Like Overwatch, didn't like it, hated it.
see, I mean,
You're
we
gonna get
gave
flamed
Overwatch.
so hard in the comments.
Well,
But yeah, go
no
on.
one
Go
comments
on.
on our
I
videos,
mean,
so
I,
but
I
yeah,
think I think we gave Overwatch a fair chance,
we really
but
did.
I don't think that we gave enough time. I don't know, because like we put so much time into League.
That I
I
don't
feel that
want to
our
not
investment to League
play it.
just yeah, like we
Yeah,
can't stop playing League.
yeah. If I'm gonna play like a MOBA kind of quick game kind of game, it's gonna be League. Also, like I played so much of Counter Strike Source, and I used to speed run Bioshock like
Fucking scrub. Who
constantly,
does speed runs these days? I mean,
constantly. That I'm done with FPS as a genre.
I feel you there. I don't like FPSs either, but Hanzo was so
Same.
much fun.
I like Diva.
Never got into them, even back in the day when everybody and their grandmother was playing Counter Strike. It just never appealed to me.
See, I would go over to before I would go over to two of my friends' house because we didn't have Counter Strike, but I would just go over to my friends' houses just to play Counter Strike.
I had this one buddy who I would go to his place and he'd be like, "Let me play a few rounds of Counter Strike," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay," because then I'd be sitting there doing nothing, right? Because
Yeah,
we're just chilling, and it turns into like half an hour or an hour of him just sitting there with like gunshots going off, and eventually I would get so bored I would just start to troll him. Like he'd be sitting there playing, and I'd go, "Oh my God, wall hacks," and he'd be like, "Shut the fuck up! You didn't even know what that means."
yeah. I remember back in the day when we didn't have cell phones, and you'd go over to someone's house and they'd be playing the new game that they got, and you're just like, "Well, this is fun. Like, I'm glad I came over to hang out."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so glad I can watch you. It's like, and then 15 years later, Twitch is one of the biggest websites in the world where people literally just watch
Yeah,
people play
Yeah,
games.
right.
figure that out, right?
Well, like
You know what I think it is though? It's like if you're chilling in your home and you're doing nothing, you might be in the mood to watch somebody play a game. But if you're in the mindset of like I'm going to someone's house to hang out, you don't just want to sit there and watch them play.
yeah. The only time I ever had a good time watching any of my friends playing a game at their house was I went over and I slept over at my buddy. They were twins, Ryan and Morgan, and they had Final Fantasy X. I didn't even know that was a thing. It's the first time I saw Final Fantasy X, and I was like, "There's a 10? Like I'm still on 9." And I watched them. They were like halfway through the game, and I just like we played literally all night, and I was just like, "This is amazing!" Like this game, because from the PS1 to the PS2, it just looks so different, and it was
Right.
blew my
I also
mind.
think that's different. I think it's different watching like a story, a lore-based game
Yeah,
compared to,
Right.
a shooter like CS:GO. CS:GO, like if you go to a friend's house and they're playing that, it's just like, oh, all right. But if they're playing, Final Fantasy, it's
yeah,
better because you can follow the story and you
yeah,
can see what's going on.
yeah, yeah. I guess
A,
like
li- a
like
little bit more like watching a movie than a game in some ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I that's just it's such like a vivid memory for me. Like, cause it was like right at that middle point where a lot of stuff starts happening.
Hmm.
Um, oh god, I had a
So
brain fight, brain fart. Uh, yeah, I just League recently, or yeah, I've been learning new characters. I kind of play a new character every game because I can't just play the same champion over and over again.
and that's why you lose.
So yeah, I've been playing Mord, and okay, I've played 4 games with him, and I've lost lane once. Not that big of a pool, but Mordekaiser is so good. Like I think he really falls off in team fights. Like I need to learn that more. But like laning phase with him at top is just like people get fucked, dude.
You need to control the dragon. Get your little
Yeah,
ghosty
we
dragon.
need to do dragon more when I moored.
Yeah, see, man, I've always been addicted to playing Lucian. Lucian's just like his abilities just they mesh so well. They're just like
Yeah,
the greatest.
no, we've talked about this for so long. Is like Lucian is just that perfect ADC.
Yeah, he's I mean he's
Which
got it all.
is
He's got the damn ADC means attack damage carry, which is usually well they've reclassified it as marksman, which marksmen usually go bot lane with the support.
And they're a
Um,
ranged physical champion.
yeah, the
mm,
ranged physical marksmans. There's lots of different uh, categories. There's like mage, assassin, support, tank, bruiser. Bruisers are, I think, Mike's favorite.
Yeah.
Um, they're like people that can get kind of tanky, but also deal
Deal
damage.
damage. Yeah, like
hmm
tanks, like a pure tanks like Moikai. I don't think it's fun. Neither is
Okay.
what's his face Nautilus. Just
Oh yeah, they're not like tanks aren't fun to play,
yeah.
but
Bruisers are
they're
yeah.
kind of necessary. Like, I mean, there are a couple tanks that are fun to play, like Zac, and I think
Oh,
Sejuani's
Zac
fun
is
too.
great to play, man.
But yeah, it get kind of dull just playing a tank all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll play jungle, but then I play something tanky anyways. I can't like me personally. I guess just because I've played top lane for so long is like I can't not play someone tanky because I'm just gonna run in there and just get killed.
Yeah,
Like I was trying Gangplank, and I had in my mind that no, I need to do barrels and I need to step back and stuff, but it's just hard to get out of that mindset. Like
that's
when I do go bot and like play an ADC, I just always in the worst positions.
yeah, it's pretty easy to get caught out and just get killed by the other team,
Yeah.
especially when you're playing the squishy champions like the mid laners and the ADCs and the supports.
Hmm.
But that's where you gotta work on your micro, man. You gotta work
Micro
on knowing the game, knowing
knowing
where
the
to
game.
stand, getting your CS. knowing when to go in, when to come out, so you don't get killed. But
I think there are two things that set me back is my internet and my I don't have a mechanical keyboard.
oh yeah, the ghost anti-ghost as like anti-ghosting is pretty important, I think, in League of Legends. Because so Eric, for champions in League, most only have four abilities. Some have less, um, but
So
I
by
think the max is
abilities, what do you mean, like special attacks or,
So
you
yeah.
know?
yeah, so you auto attack and move by right clicking on your mouse.
On your
But
yeah.
typically, unless you change your keybinds or whatever, it's QWER are your four abilities.
Hmm.
Yeah, so fuck what were we talking about before we were talking about abilities?
Uh,
Lost
Mechanical
my train of
keyboard,
thought.
ghosting.
Oh yeah, so like anti-ghosting makes it to where like you can press your E because a lot of champions, their abilities combo together.
Hmm.
So you want to be able to like press buttons really quickly. And if
Right.
you don't have an anti-ghosting keyboard, you'll press like your first button and it'll do that one, but then you press the second button, and because you're still holding down the first key,
Yeah,
the second key
It
doesn't
won't
get
register.
yeah, that
yeah.
happens to
Right.
me all the time. I'm like, I W'd. Or today, how many times did I say today? Like, my alt didn't go off. My alt didn't go off because
You
it was
you've
like,
been into you've been into this game for so long. Why haven't you gotten the
because
right
I
keyboard?
go to like a Best Buy to like whatever, and I see the mechanical keyboards, and it's like $100 or $200, and I just like I have the money, but like my
I mean, they
keyboard,
last for a good long time too, like five,
well,
6 years.
my keyboard, I've had this keyboard. This is the first keyboard I ever bought. Like I bought my own computer uh when I was like 16.
Is this the computer you're still using?
No, it's a brand new computer, right? But this keyboard, I've just always used this keyboard. It's so
Yeah, I
old.
think it's time for an upgrade, man. uh,
One day I'll probably just buy a mechanical keyboard and I'll be better at League, but
I
I don't
doubt it.
know.
Probably still be shit.
I'm not shit. I say I'm decent.
See. I don't know. I don't know where everyone ranks. I think so. Eric, there's this game mode called Ranked in League of
Hmm.
Legends, and the rankings go from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, challenger. Challenger players, only 200 are allowed to be challenger players,
Like in the
and
world?
Yeah.
or
On the
for
server.
yeah, on the
Oh, okay.
servers. There's like fuck 8 or 9 different servers, but like say the North American one, yeah, only 200 people are allowed to be in challenger,
Yeah.
and I would so that's like less than 1% of the player base.
So what are you guys ranked at? Or you don't play ranked?
I play ranked. Michael doesn't. I'm in silver, trying to get my way
The
out.
highest I ever
Which,
got, and it's so embarrassing, was like bronze 2. I think if I actually like devoted time to do ranked, I could be silver or gold, but I'm not going to say
yes,
I'm diamond.
yeah, like okay, so and there's also 5 tiers for each one. So there's like silver five, four,
Yeah.
three, two, one. Once you get past
Right.
silver one, you get promoted to gold five.
I see.
And so uh, challenger, only 0.02% of players are in challenger,
Wow.
and 1% of players are in plat 2 and up. Only 1%. So the majority of players are in probably silver and bronze. It's like
Yeah.
50 to 60% are in silver and bronze, and then like another heavy majority is in gold.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, most people are in bronze and silver, but like on Instagram, I see memes all the time of just making fun of like people in bronze, and it's like we're all in bronze, all right. But like, oh, like I've had like job interviews or like people like
That's
coming into my work because like I work in a restaurant and like you'll have somebody work there for like a week, and sometimes the guy plays league or whatever, and everyone is always diamond or like plat or some shit, and I'm like, are you, bud? Are
Or
you?
you're just bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that ranked, I guess like snobbery that people have and like making fun of it. It reminds me of this is like years ago. I was probably like 9 or 10, going to play laser tag with a big group of people, and at the end they give you like a rank based on like I guess the ratio of hits that you
Kills
made.
and deaths, yeah.
Yeah. And it was all stuff like, like lieutenant, like general, like shit like that. And then the worst rank, which I was space cadet. And the guy who took us there, and he's like laughing about that. I'm like, why is that funny? And he's like, well, when I was in high school, you used to call someone a space cadet if they smoked too much weed, and they just
Yeah,
like
that's what I
meant
was
it
about to
Yeah.
like,
say.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd be like, 420 Blazer,
The
Space Cadet, bro.
the last time I remember going to laser tag, I was definitely way too old. And I think we just
No, adults can play laser
no,
tag.
I know, but
Okay,
we went out of boredom, and I remember there being like really little kids that were super scared, and they were all like walking in a line, and like they were just I don't know, they were little kids. So me and my buddies, like every time they walked by, it was just like 8 kills, just like just shooting them.
the last
And,
time I played was like 5 months ago.
oh
And
shit!
whenever we played, they were having like a birthday party for like second graders.
Yeah, yeah,
So like it was just me and like four friends that are all like in college or graduated,
yeah,
and we're playing with like fucking second graders. It was kind of awkward.
yeah. Because like
Like
you want to go all out, but
like just punch the kids and just like kill them the entire time while they're knocked out.
It is fun though. I would love to go again, like straight up.
yeah, if it was
I
like
would
a
like to go
group of
to an
like
adult one,
adults, yeah,
like a drunk laser tag. That would be fucking amazing.
hell
You know, I
yeah.
I bet you if you find a place that's open like late into the night, you could play with adults.
Yeah, that's
Like,
I
probably
think
true.
I think at this day and age though, it's probably pretty rare to find a laser tag place.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. Good question.
yeah. I don't know how popular they'd be if they'd actually have the business.
I guess paintball is more popular with older people.
Yeah,
Paintball's pretty fun.
I've never been paintballing. I've been shot with paintballs a bunch of time. Those hurt like a son of
Uh,
a bitch.
should go paintballing, Mike.
Ugh, I don't like
It's so much fun.
I
You
don't
don't want the
like
bruises and
pain.
the welts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I hate about paintball though is the people who get too into it. Like I had this one guy trying to tell me like, "Oh man, when society collapses, I'll be prepared because of paintball."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What the fuck? What's
Yeah,
paintball gonna do for you? You're gonna be
right.
able to paint your target. Like, what? What is that gonna do?
It's just like it's like I don't know. Like I always say, like it's a like when like the zombie thing was so big and everyone was like, "Oh, I read the zombie apocalypse guide. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it." It's like
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because it's
you
definitely
can
gonna happen.
say that you're ready and you would say what you would do, but when like shit's actually hitting the fan and like you have to murder your best friend because they're like changing, are you actually mentally prepared to fucking kill someone? I don't
I
think
would
so.
kill all of them. I feel like I could kill anyone.
No.
I could probably do it because I don't have an emotional attachment to anyone. I don't have friends. I have acquaintances. Y'all mean nothing to me.
Oh, okay. Well, I love you, and I don't think I could kill someone. I'm a real peaceful person. Like I barely been in any fights growing up. But
You're a real
you know,
peaceful person until you play League of Legends.
yeah. No, but then a couple of months ago at my work, there was these drunk guys, and one of them started to beat the shit out of my manager, and I jumped him and like threw him to the ground and whatever, and like that came over me because my friend was getting hurt. But I'm not. I wouldn't say that I was any prepared to kill someone. Especially like if I shot paintballs at someone, I'm like, yeah, I could take a life. Like, no, no, you don't know that because you've never been in that actual situation.
Yeah, I know. I think it was more like, oh, I'll be prepared to like, run around and sneak and fight this war. But it's like you're comparing a game where, you can take breaks and, have some food and
Yeah,
water and nobody's really trying to kill you to like an actual survival situation. It's like, come on, buddy. Like,
yeah, like yeah,
let's be real
you're
here.
gonna be able to stand up against like the Russian and Chinese super soldiers because you shoot paintballs on the weekend.
Why? But the world will be over. He'll be fucking in the wild.
Yeah.
It'll be Russian,
Okay, so
Chinese.
I'll
They'll
hunt
just be the
boars.
nuclear.
He'll hunt
It'll be a
boars
nuclear
with his
waste.
paintball gun.
It makes me think of the fucking South Park WoW episode. It just killed boars
Yeah.
for like 3 months.
Forever. Yeah. I love that episode.
That was a nice long tangent.
That was a nice long tangent. Yeah, shit. League of Legends.
We talk about competitive scene, the North American
Well,
finals.
well,
and
if we're going to
European
talk about
finals.
the competitive scene, there's only one thing you need to talk about.
SKT Faker, I'm guessing.
Yeah, how'd you know, man? Because he's
Because that's all you ever talk about.
because
is fucking
Faker, Eric, this guy, Faker, is just on a different level than any other person that plays that game.
Is he all things to all men and maybe one lucky woman?
So he's a Korean and he's won the League of Legends World Championship 3 times, 2 times,
2 times.
something like that.
Yeah. Dude, like, he's so good. It's like he is the reason that like I actually started to care about watching LCS and stuff because just watching him.
They won
Mhm.
3 times. Like Faker has won the World Championship 3 times.
Fucking A. It's gonna be four
And
times this year, so
yeah, it's gonna be 4 this year because like SKT, so they're in the Korean League. LCK, League of Champions Korea, is what
Mhm.
that stands for. And like they dominated the second place team in the Korean finals. It was it was a so usually they play best of fives, and SKT beat I think it was KT.
hmm
They beat them in a 3-0. Like they beat them in 3 straight games,
yeah.
So
and
just dominated them, the second best team.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
second best team was dominating or had dominated the third best team the week before to get to play SKT and
Yeah.
Faker.
Mhm.
Yeah, Faker. Man, just watching him play is impressive. He has like some of the best mechanics, which is like knowing the game, knowing where to be, knowing how to play against your lane opponent. Like, yeah, he's just on another level.
He
What position does he play?
mid.
Mid lane.
So he's usually like a mage or an assassin.
Yeah, and mid lane is probably the role that can one of the roles that can most influence the game, other than jungler or top.
Yeah. So when other teams play against SKT, it's like just their strategy is to camp Faker. Like the jungler will just always go mid. Like you watch these pro games and they're just always going mid, killing him. But SKT ends up winning anyways because everyone else on the team is really good too.
Yeah, they have probably like so SKT. I don't keep up with the Korean scene as much as I'd like to, but I feel like their jungler is probably like one of the best junglers in Korea, and their top laner I would say is like maybe top two, top three in Korea, and their bot lane, which is their ADC and support, is also just like if Faker doesn't carry the game, if Faker doesn't win the game for the team, the rest of the team will step up
Yeah.
and win basically.
I'm trying to think of like someone in like sports that would be able to compare. Like
Michael Jordan, like in basketball, like Michael Jordan's dominant streak with the Bulls.
yeah.
Faker. This sounds so cheesy, but like Faker is the Michael Jordan of League of Legends.
Yeah.
Or the John Cena of League of Legends.
Oh,
League of Legends
okay.
is real.
Yeah, like wrestling is like there's a script, Eric.
Well, yeah, but it was
I don't
more
want to.
joke
I
than
don't want to.
anything.
I don't want to break your heart, but
It was more of a joke than anything. But
oh,
Cena is the person that they put on the top, so it is comparable in a way.
what is
Cena lose
his
this year though?
catchphrase? What the hell does that mean? You can't see me.
Because he's so
Uh,
fast. He's like the Flash.
Is that what it is? His thing's not speed though.
I have no fucking clue. I don't.
I think it's just like a taunt that he made up. Like he would knock the person down, and then he would go, "You can't see me," and then do his running fist drop to the face. So I think it was just like a fuck you more than anything.
Oh,
I don't think it actually means anything.
I thought it was something like he was like so fabulous that like you can see him, but like that doesn't
I
even
think
make
you're reading.
sense.
I think you're reading too much into that.
I
Oh.
think it's because whenever he would knock them out, they'd go black. He'd just like pound on their head
And he waves
until
his.
they
Yeah,
lost
maybe that's
vision,
it.
and then
Like
they'd have to
they
go to
can't-
like a help center to get their eyes back. Because John Cena just went to town. Like the referees are trying to pull him off. You can't see me, and he's just pounding this guy in his face.
By the way, anyone listening, look up John Cena on Urban Dictionary, and you won't be disappointed. Let's just say that.
So who would win in a fight, Faker or John Cena?
Well, I've never seen Faker, but I'm assuming John Cena is probably 4 times the size of the kid, so I'm gonna have to go with Cena on that one.
He's like a 20-year-old Asian kid.
Holy shit,
Well, I
he
mean,
actually is only 20. He's younger than me. What the
Well,
fuck?
I mean, there are some like ripped as fuck Asians, but
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
I'm going to assume that the league champion is probably not one of them. I mean, no
No,
offense to the guy, but I'm assuming he's probably not strapped.
No, he's
Yeah,
pretty
he's,
scrawny.
Yeah, he's a scrawny little
He
Asian kid.
but like no, but like okay, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about was Eric, these professionals, most of them are like in high school still. They're making
Yeah,
they're making like $1 million from
okay,
playing
they're
a
not
video
making a
game.
million. They're not making a million, but they're making
Some
a
of them
good chunk of money.
some of them made $1 million before they were out of high school.
I don't think any of them made a million out of high school. I don't think
think so.
any did. Like, cause I doubt there's many contracts in North America that are worth $1 million for the player. Like Faker is definitely worth $1 million. Like
Yeah.
so because he's Faker. But I don't think there's many in North America that are worth that much, and I don't think an organization is.
You know what
but
what it was? They said 6 figures, but that's still a shit ton of
six
money.
figures.
That's so much money for a high school off a video game.
Yeah, still though, I don't think a lot of high schoolers would make 6 figures because a lot of high schools would be rookies because you can't play competitive unless you're 17, I think. So they're gonna be rookies, and you're not gonna sign a contract for this rookie who you don't even know if he can play on like a live stage yet.
It doesn't really shock me though, because if you even go back to the extremely early days of competitive gaming, like I'm talking like early 1980s when arcade games were first a thing, even back then it was mostly either people in high school or at the very most their early to mid 20s. Yeah, there were a few exceptions, but it's always kind of been a very young person's thing to be at the top level of competitive gaming.
Yeah, Faker's been dominant for 5 years now, 4 years, and he's fucking 20 years old.
Yeah.
So, because they just now introduced the thing where you have to be, I think, 17 to play.
I was gonna say, because
So,
wouldn't he then have been doing it since he was 15?
yeah, he has been,
But
but
like,
back then they
that's
didn't have restrictions or anything.
that's insane. He was 15 years old.
Yeah, his first tournament win was in 2013. That was 4 years. He was 16. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
I'm how old am I? 27, and I can't get it.
How old am I?
It's hard to remember, man. It's been so long.
I mean, you're with what? Bronze is 34% of all players. Silver's 38. So,
Okay. Right. I guess I can live with that. I don't even play. I play with Garrett and his brother and his wife every I don't know what 2 times, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game.
You just play for fun,
It's fun.
not
Yeah,
for the glory.
No, you play for the fucking glory.
no,
Over.
but the thing is like most of the time I don't have fun, but
You
it
don't have
is
fun unless
fun.
you win.
But like even like I don't know, it's I only ever don't have fun if I get in an argument, usually with your brother, and that's not fun. I hate that. But most of the time we're okay. We're most of the time we're mad at ourselves. That's what it is.
I don't have fun while I'm playing, but I have fun looking back, knowing that I fucking crushed Lane.
Oh, I love winning lane. Nothing, Eric, nothing feels better than like winning lane. Like the first
The,
time I played Mordekaiser,
the soft lips
I went
on
up
your dick
against
don't even feel as good
yeah,
as winning Lane.
I went up against what was it, a Kled, and I just like dominated him. I just like it was like he couldn't even come back into lane because I would just kill him. I was like, this is the greatest day of my life. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it feels amazing to win lane.
It does feel nice.
See, you do the ADC. I can't do that. I can't do
Yeah, there's lots of clicking involved with ADC.
that.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess ADC is all about positioning and expecting what abilities are going to be used. I feel
Yeah.
because I don't know. Just thinking from last season, like I feel like I was kind of bad last season in terms of predicting what the enemy's going to do. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten a lot better at that, but I don't know. The league's a struggle.
It is.
So, yeah, anything else you guys wanted to touch on with relation to League?
I think that was it.
We could we could talk about the 6 skins.
Nah. The too much money both of us have spent on skins. I don't want to talk about that. That's depressing. Let's talk about something different. Eric, let's.
Okay, are we jumping into a little bit of a side topic here at the end?
Sure.
Let's go for it.
All right, so let's wrap this up with kind of a question I posed to both of you a couple weeks ago. This was to name one or two movies that they don't necessarily have to be a movie that you think is a great movie in and of itself. It just has to be a movie that you really like the aesthetics of, like either like the way it's shot or like the style of the atmosphere of the movie, the style of the characters, the clothing, whatever you define aesthetics as. Just a movie you think visually looks really good. So I guess, well, I don't know, Mike, do you have one in mind?
Oh, I got a few. Um,
Well,
so
let's hear it.
if we're talking about shooting like camera angles and stuff, that's not my I'm not big on picking up on that stuff, so I don't have something for that.
Okay, that's fine.
A quick one I could say of like I kind of like the universe is like we already talked about this is Star Wars is uh, the
Boo.
I love like the dirty sand cities like in Rogue One and New Hope, where it's just like this grab bag of random aliens, and they're all just
Yeah.
living in this shithole, and it's like
You know,
always like a marketplace kind of thing. Like I love that.
it's funny that you mention that because I remember reading in an interview with Lucas, one of the things that he did differently, sci-fi at the time, everything was like shiny and brand new,
Yeah,
and his idea was no, this is good. This is going to be a universe that looks like it's lived in.
yeah. It's and when I was thinking about this topic was the Empire. Everything is so neat and clean and proper, but anything not of the Empire is so dirty and broken. And even like the rebels, it's like it's a struggle. So it makes you really think that they are grab bag rebellion.
Right.
Uh, but
Okay.
but another movie, and the one
Well, let's let Garrett do one, then I'll do one, then we'll go back around.
okay.
Uh, so Garrett.
So, oh man, I don't know. I feel like I really liked Inglorious Bastards.
Okay.
Hmm.
I like because it's kind of like this gritty film. Although there's also whenever it goes to that one anti-Nazi that's in France, that chick. It's kind of shows the cleanliness of France, and all that. But then whenever it goes to like the Brad Pitt's group of Nazi killers,
Hmm.
they're just kind of this grungy group of guys just doing what they can to kill as many Nazis as they can, and also just like the fields and just the general area in which Inglorious Bastards take place. I just really liked. It's really nice. And then, fuck, what's his name? The guy that played the main bad Nazi leader.
Hitler.
not, not Hitler. Fuck, Christopher Waltz.
I've actually never seen the
Christoph
movies,
Waltz.
so
Oh, you haven't. All right. Well,
can't
I
help
would
you.
highly recommend it. It's really good. Um, but anyway, yeah, it was a really good movie. I think aesthetically pleasing.
Hmm.
But yeah,
That's fair.
fun.
Okay. One that I'll throw in, which I'm probably going to get made fun of for, and I'll preface this by saying I don't necessarily think this is a great movie, but the 1996 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. Uh, I just liked they basically, if you're not familiar with it, they took Romeo and Juliet, the story, and put it into a contemporary setting.
Yeah, it was great
Um,
actually.
you've seen that.
I have. Yeah, I watched it in high school.
Yeah,
That's
so
also
that's
when I
where I
watched
saw it
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, just like the idea of taking Shakespeare and bringing it into the modern times, how they have guns instead of swords, but the swords all have, or sorry, the guns all have like they're named after swords or types of swords,
Yeah.
and just everything like the costumes and the look of it and the way it was shot, and like especially when they're like on the beach and you see all this like ruined city architecture in the background. I just think it was visually a very impressive
Does
looking movie.
does he wear a lot of Hawaiian shirts in that one?
I think there's somebody in a Hawaiian shirt in that. I don't think it's Leo though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I think of that
Mercutio?
movie,
Is that the other guy? Mercutio?
Maybe
I
that was it.
I can't not think about like a Hawaiian shirt. I don't know
That was
why.
yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got another one, Mike.
Yeah, this is one that I've thought I always think about this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time is Blade Runner. Now, that
Hmm.
movie, uh, the graphics, the special effects, everything still holds up today. It's God, I don't know when it was made. I can't think.
80
80.
early 80s,
Yeah,
early 80s.
it still looks great. And so the book, it's an adaptation of a book. Do androids no? Do androids
Yeah.
dream of electric sheep? Yeah.
Yes.
And so in the book, uh, and the movie, they basically everyone who lives on Earth has basically been left behind because there was nuclear war, and everyone that was still like healthy and like didn't have anything really wrong with them, like physically or mentally, was just left back on Earth. Most of them died out, whatever. So the book, there are parts of the city and in the movie that it's very hustly bustly, like there are a lot of people, but there's also a lot of solitude in it where there are people that just one person lives in an entire apartment building,
Hmm.
and he's basically just they pick one apartment and they're the only person that lives in there. So with the movie, it's it's really gritty. Like it's always raining. It's this sweet cyberpunk city, but so he goes from being like you know pushing through crowds of people to like get to like this android he's trying to kill, to being in a worn down, abandoned apartment building that, like, you can tell just no one's lived in there because it's just garbage and filth everywhere, and the ceilings caved in and blah blah blah. It's just they first of all they portrayed the book, like, I think perfectly, uh, from what you would visualize reading it. Me
Hmm.
personally, but I did see the movie first. But whatever. Uh, it just looks amazing, and it really heightens the movie experience just on how well they made this universe feel, just from how
Yeah,
it looks.
I would agree with that. I was never as big of a fan of the movie as you were, but I definitely get what you're saying. Like aesthetically, it is an amazingly shot movie, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's pretty to look at. It's not even like an art movie, but it's just so pretty to look at. They just did such a good job, man.
Okay. Do you got another one, Garrett?
Yeah. Might see a trend here, but the second one I was thinking of was Kill Bill. Obviously, I'm a huge Tarantino fan. Tarantino's great.
Oh, I didn't know that was
But
an obvious thing about you. I didn't know that.
oh well, all right. Thanks for ruining it, Mike.
Well, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
But the specific scene I'm thinking of in Kill Bill is whenever she's at the like Japanese nightclub or whatever. I
Yeah.
think it was Japanese, and the fight scene that goes on there. That was I haven't seen it in a while, but I
She
just remember that
kills
being like
the
one of
88
like
or
the
whatever.
best scenes. What?
She kills like the 88. It's like
Yeah.
88
Oh, yeah, that's
assassins
what it
or
was.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a good one to bring up because I don't know, me personally, not that huge of a fan of that movie, but it's definitely an interesting looking movie.
It is because it switches it up depending on who she's going after, who she's killing. It's
Yeah,
shot
definitely.
differently.
Hmm.
It's the colors are always different, and the setting is always different, and like sometimes it's even like an anime. So that is, yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, I just remember her killing that 188 girl. Ah, great movie. Yeah.
My
Okay.
favorite Quarantino, God, what is it called? Not Reservoir Dogs, the other one,
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's just like a
I think
cult
that's
classic.
everybody's. Yeah. If everybody likes a Tarantino movie, it's probably that one,
yeah.
Yeah.
if nothing else. Um, okay. So the last one I wanted to mention real quick, which I won't dwell too much
But
on
but
because
but
I could.
first,
Oh
Eric,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
what's your favorite Tarantino movie?
Uh, well, Pulp Fiction.
Okay, I just want to know.
So the last one I'll mention for aesthetics, I won't dwell too much on because I can almost guarantee you neither of you have seen it. But I can probably
Hmm.
explain pretty quickly what is so cool about the aesthetics of it is actually Poltergeist 3. And again, like Romeo and Juliet,
Oh.
not a movie that I particularly enjoy. The original Poltergeist is one of my favorite movies of all time. The sequels are pretty much cash cows. But what's cool about the third one is most horror movies are most horror movies they're either taking place like in some like abandoned cabin or in the woods or some psycho's fucking dungeon or some kind of supernatural thing or what I mean, like there's tropes that they always go back to for the setting for horror movies.
Yeah.
Poltergeist 3 is a supernatural horror movie that takes place in an ultra modern high-rise building at the end of the 80s. So I just thought it was really cool to have this supernatural horror taking place in this unusual setting. And also, the film makes extremely effective use of mirrors. There's mirrors all over this building, and a common theme is like you'll see somebody walking down a hallway, and something almost out of your vision, fucked up, is happening in the mirror, but you have to be actually kind of paying attention to see it.
Huh.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think horror movies have taken a move back to like What the original Poltergeist was just in a house, right?
A house in suburbia, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Paranormal Activity.
Same
Those
thing.
all
Yeah.
happened in like houses.
Or it's
Suburbia.
like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like somewhere out in
Out
the
in the
woods where they're
boonies.
isolated. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like the original Poltergeist is amazing. Poltergeist 3 isn't so amazing, but the setting is very unique and very cool. Anyways, go on, Mike.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of horror in
In general,
general.
me neither.
I think a lot of it, for me, you know, this is my opinion, is just it's a lot of gore just to be gore, and I get that
I
that's the
don't like that
point
either.
of it. That's the point of
Mhm.
it, but that just does nothing for me. Like I don't
No, I agree.
like one of the worst things was like The Hills Have Eyes. It was just like I don't want to watch like inbred hillbillies just murder and
Torture.
fuck teenagers.
You
Like that's
didn't want
just
to see the big one just get his dick smashed with a sledgehammer.
like it's just like that's so fuck.
Yeah,
I,
when
I
I
mean,
s-
I don't think all horror movies. I think really good horror movies don't rely on blood and gore. They
I agree.
rely on like
See,
the story fucking
yeah,
freaking you out.
the
yeah, 100% agree.
one horror movie I will say I thoroughly enjoyed. The rest of them that came after it was all of them were awful, but the original Saw was so good, and it
It
had one of
was.
the best twist endings I've ever seen in my life.
It was. And you know what? I've just realized as we're talking about this, we're all kind of on the same page of horror movies. We should do it. We should do a podcast just on horror movies that we actually do think are good.
I guess yeah we could.
Yeah, that sounds like
All right.
something we could do.
I'd have to really think
Teaser
about that.
teaser for the future then.
Yeah, maybe next month. Yeah. Um, I
We just
just
save it for next October,
oh my
Oh
god,
God,
that's
it's a
so
right
while.
around
long.
Halloween.
Yeah, I guess we have to do that, eh?
We're teasing 6 months ahead.
Yeah. We're in it for the long haul, boys.
Hey, I enjoy doing it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's our
Is
episode,
that
eh?
is that it?
That's about
Are
an
we done
hour.
here?
Yeah, we're done.
All right. Goodbye, YouTube.
See you
See you
later.
next time.
Hey, it's gonna be an iTunes zone. Maybe. We gotta figure it out. Bye.